First Lady Jill Biden has revealed she will be undergoing a procedure next week to remove a lesion her doctors found during a routine skin cancer screening. According to her press secretary, the lesion is above her right eye. She'll undergo an outpatient procedure next week at Walter Reed National Military Medical Center as a precautionary measure.
This news comes as President Biden makes a rare bipartisan visit to Kentucky. He was there yesterday alongside Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell to tout his $1.2 trillion infrastructure bill. NBC News White House correspondent Carol Lee joins us now with more on this. Carol, good morning. So President Biden and Senator McConnell praised each other for their work on the infrastructure bill. Let's take a listen.
We all know these are really partisan times, but I always feel no matter who gets elected, once it's all over, we ought to look for things we can agree on and try to do those.
We can work together. We can get things done. We can move the nation forward. We just drop a little bit of our egos and focus on what is needed in the country.
So, Carol, is this appearance a sign bipartisanship can be possible for the next 2 years of the Biden presidency, especially when you consider Republicans will now control the House?
Joe, I think it's more that it's designed to show from the White House's perspective that bipartisanship is possible. But it comes against the backdrop of an expectation that there's not going to be a lot of legislating or bipartisanship in the next 2 years with Republicans having control of the House. So there's a couple things going on here. One is the White House really wants to draw this contrast between the president's first 2 years in office and what they expect to be real gridlock in his second 2 years in office, and really trying to put that burden on House Republicans to saying that they're the ones who are going to be coming to the table to try to compromise. That's the expectation. And then also you have a president who doesn't expect a lot of legislating going forward. And so he's trying to get credit for things he's already done. The White House believes that a number of provisions in some of the laws that the president signed in his first 2 years in office are going to start to take effect. And the hope is, from their perspective, that the president will start to get credit for that and that Americans will feel good about the economy. So we'll see a lot of focus from the president traveling around the country, focusing on what he's already done. Very little expectation that things will get done going forward.
Well, while the president is out on the road, of course, the big news in Washington is this ongoing vote for the House leadership position. And we heard the president mention that. First, let's listen to some of that.
It's embarrassing for the country to be able to have a Congress that can't function. Is just embarrassing. We're the greatest nation in the world. How can that be? Look, newly elected Representative Greg Landsman, he couldn't be here today. He's dealing with trying to figure out who's going to be the next Speaker of the House of Representatives. And I wish him a lot of luck. He may be the first freshman ever elected Speaker of the House of Representatives.
So, like, all jokes aside, I mean, the fact of the matter is no work can get done until that vote actually is successful. Has the Biden administration indicated whether it will get involved if this stalemate continues?
Yes, and they've said they are not getting involved. The president said this is not his problem. You heard him there saying this is embarrassing. He said the world is watching. We heard White House officials say, look, we're just going to let this process play out. And politically speaking, you know, there's a couple things that happen in Washington. Sometimes if there's one party seems to be struggling, another party will come in and try to really, you know, stir the pot a little bit. This is one of those dynamics where, from Democrats' perspective, including the White House, Republicans are doing themselves so much self-harm that they don't need to say anything. They can sit back and be a spectator about this. Now, whether that changes the longer this goes on, and there are real implications, tangible ones, in terms of policy and national security or things like that, that remains to be seen. But for now, the White House is happy to just let this play out and to stay above the fray.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.